We're back again, folks, after a multiple day saga. It's like my cousin Gary said, sometimes when you see an entire collection, you just got to pull the trigger, even if it's not normally something you would watch or feature here on this channel. But it happened. I was at the thrift shop, and they had all of the Twilight movies, and they were $1 each, and it was 50% off, so I spent $2.50 for every Twilight film, all 5 movies.
Wait, $2.50 total for all of them?
Yep.
That's pretty good.
You can't say no. It's just too good of a deal. The year is 2008. I was going to the unaccredited Bible College in Murrieta, California.
Unaccredited.
And at the Temecula Mall in the next city over, they had a movie theater, and a bunch of people from Bible College went to the opening night, and it was a big deal because of, again, this is before streaming. You were still going to the movies with your pals, circa me, age 21 at the time. 2008, Twilight, the motion picture. This catapulted Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson to superstardom. This movie was directed by Catherine Hardwicke, and it has a 2-hour and 10-minute runtime. You will recognize Hardwicke from such movies as her directorial debut. I've never seen it, but I always remember The Box. 2000 and I don't remember the date. 2003, she put out her first film, 13, which is about tweens. And then she also directed 2005's Lords of Dogtown. So this is very interesting. This movie started getting brought into the studio eye before it was even published. In 2000, yeah, in 2005, a guy for MTV got a hold of the unpublished manuscript and thought this would make a great movie, and then proceeded to write a movie that had nothing to do with the source material. He said that he didn't think this movie would appeal to the teen male, so they basically made a vampire action film script.
Oh.
And it was going to appeal to the MTV generation. Then nothing would happen for a couple of years. The studio would let their rights to the film expire, and it would fall into the hands of the director, Catherine Hardwicke, who wanted a movie that would closely resemble the source material. She was presented with 5 different scripts. None of them had anything to do with the actual book. And she read the book and felt like the source material was very interesting from the original story. So she brought on TV screenplay writer Melissa Rosenberg, and they wrote a script that would kind of play off more of the original source material, so much so that they would even have the original author Stephanie Myers on set, and they would adapt 90% of the critiques that she had for the film into the production.
Oh.
There was obviously some variation. Hardwicke developed the voiceover of Kristen Stewart to kind of implement some of her thought process, which was written in the book. The books are over 500 pages long. They did have to cut a lot. This movie was panned by critics. It has a 48% Rotten Tomato critic average. However, audience member score is much higher, 72% with 250,000 submissions. IMDb, not great, 5.4 out of 10. And I will say that I remember seeing this movie and not knowing anything about it, but the people that I went and saw the film with were super into the novel, and they were swooning over this movie. It had a $37 million budget and went on to gross $412 million at the box office. This was a big deal. It was the #1 selling DVD in 2009 when it came out on disc.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if I want to say my review yet. I'm going to keep the suspense going. But I like the fact that they stayed true to the novel. Because of like it bothers me when the studios take control of someone's original story and then just completely turn it into what they feel is going to be more palpable, I guess you could say. It was filmed mostly in Portland, Oregon, with some scenes filmed throughout Washington as well. I guess Forks, Washington is a real place. And having watched a bunch of David Lynch stuff the last year, even though it had no influence whatsoever, I couldn't help but think of old David Lynch and our beloved Twin Peaks. Rest in peace, David Lynch. That's
good
it.
piece of pie.
Yeah, the damn good cup of coffee.
Or
So
pie and coffee.
anyway, that's pretty much all the notes that I have. What do you want to
Okay.
say?
I just wanted to say an interesting fact that Kristen Stewart and Robert, I can't talk. I was going to call him Robin. Robert Pattinson did date in real life. They started dating in 2009 and they broke up in 2013. And their romance was, of course, highly publicized because of their romantic roles in the movie. And sadly, for all the ladies out there who thought he was a hottie, he got married to somebody else, not the Kristen Stewart actress. He married someone named Suki Waterhouse.
And interestingly enough,
2024.
Suki was a character played by Melissa McCarthy in Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Not related to
not
his
the
wife.
Same Suki.
Not the same
They
Suki.
apparently got married on New Year's Eve 2024 and are now parents to their first child, born in March 2024. So the vampire is a dad now. Yay.
Okay, be careful.
I never really thought that I would actually watch these movies. I guess I just avoided it at the time because I figured
You felt there was moral issues with watching a
they're
vampire movie?
vampires, and I didn't really think that was edifying to watch that. Still not too sure how good it was to watch it, but I was told this was tame compared to like Lost Boys or other,
You're not ready for an interview with a vampire
I'm never gonna watch that probably.
or Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola.
I definitely liked the werewolves better than the vampires. I felt more at ease with the wolves. So, but yeah, I mean, I can see why the series was interesting and compelling, though. I can see why people loved it, but I never got into it till now. So
This movie takes everything that I've always understood to know about vampires and just throws it on its head.
yeah,
We're doing a review. Vampires don't go out in the day. They sleep during the day and they only come out at night. And if you go out in the day, they disintegrate. And then this movie takes everything you know about vampires and they kind of do their own thing.
Well, they
about
meet
it.
in high school, right? And he can't go to high school.
Stop.
in the
We're
middle
doing
of
a
the night,
review.
so settle down.
It's just annoying because of everything that you think about vampires.
I'll be right back.
Although there was a Netflix show, and actually it was on the Sci-Fi Network, but then some of it was on Netflix, and I watched all that during the pandemic. There's a show called Van Helsing, and there was no direct sunlight. The vampires could go outside, and that movie took place in the greater Seattle area, and some volcanic eruption happens, and all this ash obscures the sunlight, and there's a vampire world domination. Completely unrelated. I don't like a lot of the things that they did with vampires in this film. They had to make it palpable for tween girls by making it not less violent. It's a very tame movie. PG-13. The most epic romance since Titanic, says Hollywood.com. They had to really dig deep for that because of, I don't know, teenage angst. And I don't know. It was pure fluff, and I liked it more than I cared to admit, and I watched all of them, and I found myself looking forward to find out what was going to happen next. It's like a soap opera for teens and vampires and werewolves. And I remember at the time it was a big deal, and you were either Team Jacob or Team Edward. And my wife has left the review because we have kids crying for their pizza in the oven. So I don't know what else to add. I am going to say that I can't give my review yet because of my wife left the room. And she's not coming back anytime soon. So, okay. One of the best vampire movies that I've watched is the 1970s made-for-TV films Salem's Lot, which is a Stephen King adaptation. That is a superior vampire saga. Interview with the Vampire is another classic one. Lost Boys, it's very 80s, but it's good. The original Nosferatu, that's one of the first movie reviews that I ever did here on the channel, the 1920s Nosferatu. Maybe I will review the new one. I've heard it is quite disturbing. Oh, I've reviewed another vampire movie here on the channel, Renfield, the Nicolas Cage vampire movie. It's enjoyable. It is another fluff movie. Is it the best vampire movie? No, but it is watchable. And this series is watchable. I thought maybe I was just going to do a big lump sum and give you all 5 movies, but I felt like there was too much to talk about for just one film, and I only have taken notes on the first 2 films. So I didn't realize that such a prolific director, Catherine Hardwicke, who is more serious films, I liked that part of it. I did enjoy the cinematography. It was filmed with all handheld cameras to give it a more realistic, kind of documentary-esque feel. The Robert Pattinson character was not the first choice, but he had such good chemistry when Kristen Stewart was chosen first to play Bella. Kristen Stewart said, he's our Edward. They had really good on-screen chemistry, and obviously it turned into a real relationship for years. He had to lose weight and get in shape for the role. Most of the people who played the vampires avoided the sunlight to appear very pasty and pale with the addition of makeup. There are really stupid things that I hate about this movie, which the sparkling outside and the sunlight kind of a thing. Again, that's kind of taking everything I know about vampire lore. And we're going on 11 minutes here talking about a B movie, folks. I am going to go 3 out of 5 on this film. It was more enjoyable than I care to admit, like I mentioned. And I think that the 48% Rotten Tomato critic average and 5.4 out of 10 IMDb score is unfair. It's a fan film. Why else did this movie gross $412 million if it was crap, right? It's obviously an enjoyable watch on a cold winter's day. It is 45 degrees out, and we have a fog layer that's been going on for weeks here in the Central Valley of California. This was the perfect weekend watch. We watched 2 movies, 3 of them over the weekend. I was just telling our viewing audience that it's not the best movie, but it's much better than the critics give it credit for, and I was 3 out of 5.
Oh,
I thought it was worth it.
Are we still on Twilight?
I thought it was worth watching and enjoyable. Do you think it's worth at least a 3 out of 5?
Yeah, I would say 3.5 out of 5.
Wow.
I can't say 4 because I feel like if I give it a 4, then that means I would rewatch all the movies, and I don't think I'm gonna rewatch these. For one thing, I get too squeamish with all the battling. I know he says it's not realistic and it's not bloody and all that, but I still don't. I wouldn't rewatch that over and over. So, but I'm 3.5 because it is interesting. It's intriguing. I can see my cat on that top bunk.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is new. If you watched our movies in the past, my media bunker has been taken hostage now with a bunk bed as my large family expands from... Anyway, that's it.
That's it?
That's the review.
You did the whole review?
Well, you left.
I had to. It's
what else do you want? Do you want to add anything else?
Did you talk about how he shimmers in the sun?
Yes, and I thought that was ridiculous because of that. Again, your concept of vampires, and I talked to a friend of this, I said, what do you know about vampires? He said, they only come out at night and they sleep during the day. And this just upended all of that to move along the story of teenagers in love and going to high school, public high school together.
Yeah.
But I do give the studio credit for staying true to the source material. The director really wanted to stick true with the source material, and having Stephanie Myers on the production set and taking her
Myers
notes.
Or Meyer?
I don't know. Oh, by the way,
Meyer,
this movie is very chaste because the author of the series is Mormon.
That's what I was going to touch on.
And she went to BYU.
So...
And she had never written anything before this, but she was an English literature major.
The Bella Swan character wanted to consummate their love.
Not in the first film. Later on in the series.
In the second film? I don't remember. Whenever it was.
It doesn't matter.
And Edward wasn't okay with that because he said he was a man from a different era.
Old-fashioned.
And that he wanted to get married first before they did the deed. I'm speaking in code in case there's any children watching.
Were people swooning over this movie when you were in your early 20s?
Yeah, I remember some swoonage going on. But
I remember girls wearing t-shirts.
I wasn't really into it.
Twilight t-shirts. Go to Hot Topic and you get your Twilight t-shirt.
I might have to pick up a Team Jacob shirt
Okay,
at some point now.
There you go. All right, folks.
I just feel like, me personally, if I had a choice, I'd rather stick with the werewolf. He was at least warm-blooded. He was alive and had a heartbeat, and I felt like he treated her way better. She was left in the forest for dead by the Edward
And the
character.
werewolf squished her away to safety.
And all he has to say about that is, I hope you can forgive me. It's like, no, I can't.
Complicated relationships. It plays out like a soap opera. Comment down below.
It's like, if he's abandoning her, then what's it going to be like being married to the guy? And then it is a problem, because then later, spoiler, these movies have been out for a while.
Yeah.
She gets pregnant by him, and then he's upset by it, and he retreats emotionally and kind of leaves her to deal with the fallout. And then later he's like, I'm sorry, I've left you alone in this. And it's like, yes, you abandoned me in the forest when I needed you. You said you had to move away and left her for dead. And then the wolf guy rescues her. And then she basically uses him to feel better because she thinks Edward's never coming back. And then he falls in love with her. And then when Edward comes back, she drops him like a hot rock. It's so sad. Oh, can we talk about the grooming behavior too? I'm sorry. This is all spoiler stuff.
This is not... Can we save it for the final review? Oh. Because there's
how many reviews are we doing?
Listen, there's many...
Oh my God. My cat.
That's the movie. We'll talk about that in the final movie, which will come many reviews later. They have a daughter. We'll talk about that for Breaking Dawn Part 2. Until next time, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.
Bye.
We can't talk about the grooming behavior in the first movie. It has nothing to do with it.
I didn't know there was going to be that many reviews.
I was going to do them all in one film, but there's just too much to say.
People love cats.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.